What is up, Sooner Faithful, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge Instant Reaction Postgame live show where you can call in, where you can comment. I guess, Jay, the best thing to say is the misery's over. Sooners lose tonight 37-17 to LSU, where the defense really got torched in the secondary tonight. Man, not what I expected, honestly, going into this game, Jay. Started off, there's a lot to talk about. I see people already saying who's entering the portal. I'm not even going to get to that tonight because until it happens, I'm not going to sit here and speculate. It's good to be back on the live show with everyone.
Good to be back.
I want to say that first off. It's been, missed everyone the last 2 nights as we've been with family. Still am, actually. And I see people saying fire. Look, it's going to happen. All the cards are going to fall. Hires are going to be made. Opening thoughts.
Hey, my opening thoughts for the game for tonight was you had probably the best game plan you've had all year last week against Alabama. And the one thing that LSU does not do good is stop the quarterback run game. Milroe ran for about $170 or $150 on him. And it seemed to me that the OU waited a little bit too long to get that going.
It was like third or fourth drive before.
Yeah, I just didn't get that. Started right off the bat, and he was doing good when they started to do it. It just took too long. And then you're in a hole. And this team, I think everybody on this show knows this team cannot play from behind. They can't. They don't have the weapons to do it. So I think once they got behind, the kickoff return changed the game. That killed the momentum that they did have.
The Bauer Sharp play.
The Bauer Sharp play, there's no excuse to throw the ball there. Take the tackle. Well, I mean, that's something – I'm not going to bash people, but that's something you do in fourth grade. I'm sorry. That's a fourth grade play.
You would think a former quarterback would know that you take your sack there and move on. Like, that was
as good as –
I don't even know where he thought it could maybe go. I mean, there was 3 guys right there.
As good as the line was last week, guys, it wasn't near as good today on the running backs with the running backs. Now, Arnold still had probably over 100 yards, correct?
Yeah, he had 70 the third quarter, I think. So I don't know, though. I don't know what he ended up with.
Jackson Arnold led the team with 17 rushes for 75 yards.
Yeah, so 75 yards rushing. This was just a game, guys. I think it's everybody in this chat. A lot of people are just saying, okay, turn the page now. The season's done. Now you got the OC needs to happen. The hire needs to happen probably tomorrow. And I'm serious. It needs to be ASAP.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if it's going to.
You only have 4 days before signing.
I know.
So, yeah.
And we all saw what Florida State did today. We all saw what happened there.
What a move for them. Gus Malzahn.
Hey, real quick, but before I get too mad, Eli Bowen honestly had good coverage on the first one. The next one he got torched. If you don't think Eli Bowen's going to be pretty good, you haven't watched much this year. And then, great God, to say the program is cooked, to me is outlandish because, in my opinion, the way college football is, guys, I don't know that any program is cooked these days. You can turn it around pretty quickly.
You can, but they got to win in the portal this year, and they got to win with the OC hire. And what Florida State did by getting Malzahn, that's a winning in the hire. And OU needs to do the same thing. They need to go win in the hire. And I saw somebody put in the chat about the defensive backs. They're there. They're not making plays. I would agree with that in a lot of instances. Now, tonight, I didn't think the tackling was very good in the secondary either tonight. And that's something that I don't think was that great. But it's just a game. I think a lot of us coming off after the Alabama game thought, okay, this game's going to be competitive. And it just wasn't. And that's the frustrating part to leave it on this note is now you got the bowl game. But we all know, guys, there's no chance everybody's playing in this bowl game. There's going to be a lot of guys sit out. And I don't blame them.
Hey, Bauer Sharp is back next year. Second of all, I don't. Hunter,
has this been announced, by the way? Has this been announced?
Not to Utah. I haven't seen that.
I'm pretty sure he was interviewing there, but I don't know.
He was interviewing there. Hey, real quick, Jay, Hunter, are you guys accepting 6 and 6? Because I'm not.
No.
Crystal says when you accept it, you're cooked. Who's accepting it?
I think she's saying because they haven't fired Brent Venables. That's what she's saying.
Well, I mean, I get what she's trying to say there. Like, Yeah,
I'm not accepting. I'm not.
It's bad. It's a lot better than what it could have been if they would have beat Alabama. But yes, it's going to go down in the history books as a terrible year, plain and simple.
Bad year.
You can't finish 500 or below 500 potentially if Oklahoma loses this bowl game at a place like Oklahoma, and it's potentially going to happen twice in 3 years.
Hey, I'm going to check something. Y'all keep talking.
Wait, Arbuckle, according to Al Eschbeck on the post game, Arbuckle to Utah is official.
Who I do not believe that one bit. So,
well, again, Hunter, it wouldn't shock me because I wasn't on the train saying he was going to be the guy here like everyone else.
I don't know why we're still talking about it. We need to get the comment off the screen. If you type Ben Arbuckle's name on Twitter, there is not a latest tweet trend.
Nothing's official yet
about Utah, so why even bring it up? It's a rumor, if not just I don't know. I don't listen to the Sports Animal, so I can't tell you what Al said, but I don't know. I mean, I just looked on Twitter and there's nothing about Arbuckle officially going to Utah. I don't know how that happened when their game might still be going on right now. So
I thought defensively it was the worst secondary's been maybe all season, but the Jackson Arnold isn't good enough. The last 2 weeks Jackson Arnold has been good enough. He hasn't had any help. I mean, if you want to say who's been playing the best on the offense, it's Jackson Arnold. The last 2 weeks now, I for one would like to see them keep Jackson Arnold, but I don't know if they will or not. All I know is, Hunter, when does the portal open up? It's
December 9th is when the portal.
So it's still over a week. A week.
Yes, a week from Monday is when the portal opens.
Yeah, Arbuckle, they did lose tonight, 15-14 to Wyoming.
That's because he's probably already checked out, Jay. Wait, what do you mean Jackson was?
They're trying to get you going, Jerm. They're trying.
I know they are, Jay. They don't know football. They don't know football. Period.
There really wasn't anything for him to do today.
He actually threw the ball pretty good, Hunter.
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. The fact of the matter is this: Jackson Arnold is probably going to get paid pretty good money and won't be at OU next year. If I had to guess,
real possibility. Yeah.
I said on Arnold, Crystal, was that I thought he played okay today. Now, he took sacks at the end, but he was not the reason they were struggling offensively. Sorry. Guys, maybe that's what you want, but he was not the reason they were struggling on offense.
It doesn't matter. You can say what you want about Arnold. You can say what you want about whatever position you want on the offense. To me, the offense, until they get an offensive coordinator in there who runs an offense, it's hard for me to judge anybody on that offensive unit because I just don't think that this is a Joe John Finley's running the offense who was coaching tight ends earlier in the year. Okay. Probably the reason they looked so good against Alabama, he had 2 weeks. 2 weeks to prepare makes a difference.
And they executed the game plan about as perfectly as you can. They went to a scheme that Kevin Johns ran a lot at Duke in the running game. And I mean, they ran the football. They only had to drop back 12 times, 11 passing attempts all game.
Do you guys think this is, do you put anything into this? I don't a whole lot, but if they needed this game for a bowl game, would it have looked any different?
I don't know, Jay. I mean, I think
I would hope not.
I would hope too. That's what I'm saying.
They take everything week by week. It's just this year they have been extremely inconsistent. I said it all week leading up to it that I was still hesitant on. One, are they going to be able to follow it up the following week after just an unbelievable win at home against Bama, 21-point upset win there. And then you're going into Death Valley, a very difficult place to play on top of it. So,
yeah. And by the way, formerly known as Joe MC Part 2, I'd like Georgia Tech. Buster Faulkner would be a great hire. Now, probably won't happen, but what I like about him, though, is he was an air raid guy, and then he went to Georgia and learned under Monken, I believe, and kind of developed his offense a little bit. Who knows who it's going to be? I do think, what is tomorrow? Is tomorrow December 1st, guys? I'm trying to look here.
Tomorrow's December 1st.
Yeah.
Hire has to be done by tomorrow night, Monday latest.
Agreed, Jay.
You can't. Signing day is the 4th.
Hey, if Arbuckle is going to Utah, It's not like OU's going to be shocked by it. They would know.
I don't know why we're talking about it. There's nothing that I could find on Twitter that could at all.
Nothing's been said about it.
To Arbuckle going to Utah. I mean, it's not even announced that he's going to OU. So, I mean, no one knows where he's going to go.
Yep, Hunter called it tomorrow's December.
Devon Mitchell played for one play. Is that correct?
I don't know how many plays. I know he got in there at least once.
I didn't even see him in there, Jay.
Hey, and there it is, Topher. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Nothing's legit. I mean, guys, you can believe whatever you want on Twitter. Nothing's been announced on anything. I'll tell you what, though, the Malzahn stuff today that broke, that was out of nowhere.
Shocking.
Yeah. I'm curious. I don't know his contract details at UFC or UCF, sorry. But I'm curious as to how that part of it is all going to work out.
The whole thing was Norvell used to be his graduate assistant.
Yep, that told.
So they have a very good relationship. So, but
we gonna take callers tonight?
What's that?
We ready to take callers tonight or no?
We can open them up.
I'm gonna be on here for about the first 25 minutes, guys.
All right. Hey, Bobby says, I think it's silly to think that things haven't been finalized. Bobby, that's what I'm saying. It better. I think if it doesn't, then that tells me that OU is people are either saying no to them or, I mean, that's what it would kind of tell me. But
Jake Spavital looked good today.
Hey,
Jay.
by the way, kudos to Dave Aranda. You talk about a guy that turned it around. 8-4. He was going to be gone. And Florida too. I don't know what the final was on Florida State. Man, the callers popped in there like crazy as soon as you open that up, Hunter. Let's just get right to it. Platone, what's up, Platone?
Try to keep it short tonight, boys.
Yeah, let's try to keep them rolling. What's up, Platone?
Hey, guys. Well, first off, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a good one.
Hey.
Secondly, my thoughts, just real brief. When I'm watching OU's offense, I feel like I see two types of – when they're doing passing plays, I see two basic types. I see patterns where all the guys are running 10 to 20 yards deep, and then I see other times where they run short routes, but it doesn't seem like they have good balance to me. It seems like it's all or nothing. And I noticed that on the short routes, Jackson Arnold seems like he's hesitant to throw unless there's at least, 3 to 4 yards of separation. Whereas other QBs that even if they're not elite, they'll throw even if there's just a yard or two separation if they can lead the receiver and the guys behind them. He just seems awfully skittish about that. Because I saw a lot of guys that they weren't wide open, but they were open enough where I think an average QB could hit those, like some slants and drags and stuff like that. Another thing I had is
I think it's a great point about the receivers. I think it just comes down to there's no creativity on the offensive mind. I just don't think they got a guy that's never called plays calling plays. The guy before him hadn't called plays in probably 3 or 4 years. The game's changed. You got to be more creative, and they're not very creative with the wide receivers, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100%. The other thing I'm really disappointed about is, I think we had one fumble this game, but I think we're the worst in the country at lost fumbles. I mean, come on, that's
Correct.
Ridiculous. I don't understand what we're doing. Are we not practicing that? I mean, that's something that they should be spending a lot of time in practice to correct. And it's just the same thing game after game. How can we be the worst in college football lost fumbles? That's a massive coaching fail. They should be.
It's a horrible stat, but I would think other than coaching, the only other thing I could contribute to is take a look at who's done them. Arnold and Tatum, freshmen.
Hey, but what's crazy?
Part of the issue.
What's crazy is they're number one in the nation in lost fumbles, and then they're what, first or second on defensive touchdowns. That's crazy. Those two stats.
I think they're first in the SEC.
Hey,
he played defensive touchdowns.
Hey, going back to what the caller said about the pass routes, it's mind-boggling. Some of the routes they're running. Really, the best ones is Arnold on the bootleg out to Jacob Jordan. That was like the best route all day long.
Yeah. Hey, let's get to Zach. Zach, you're on the line. What's up, Zach?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
So
I just find it insanely ridiculous that people are blaming Arnold for this game. I mean, whenever I read the chats, it's just like it pisses me off.
They're trying to get me going.
They're trying to find a way to blame the quarterback. They either have a grudge on Arnold or they're trying to find who to blame. And I think you can't just blame one guy for tonight. It was the whole team, the play calling, Joe John Finley, he played good for what he had, but he's not the guy, and we need someone new. And I just think Arnold, I think he could be good. We just need to see what he can do with a good play caller, offensive line, and some wide receivers.
I'm with you, Zach. I don't think Arnold will be back though. I just think he got a bad hand this year all around, and I think he's probably like, I need a new. I don't know anything. I'm just saying it. I think he's probably going to go make money in the portal because he will. He'll make everyone wants to bash him on here. Bash him all you want. He's going to go make a lot of money if he transfers because he's talented.
I think it just depends on who we hire for our offensive coach. But yeah, I just think it's ridiculous to blame Arnold for this game. I think they just want Hawkins. Yeah, they want some quarterback drama. Our defense was a lot to blame for tonight. I mean, we had that fumble recovery, and then that was it. It just our defense, our pass defense was the worst tonight.
Yeah,
I mean we stopped. We didn't allow short plays, but we allowed the explosive plays that got them far. Like I don't know. I just think that changed the game for us, and I'm just it just pisses me off that people blame the quarterback.
Hey, thanks for the call, Zach. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Zach. Hey, by the way, everybody that does want to bash Arnold, that's fine. Do what you want, but here's what I will say. And you say he won't get paid. Will Howard is not a great quarterback. And look how much he got paid in the offseason, Hunter.
I don't get that one. And yeah, the Arnold haters. I mean,
for tonight,
people hated Gabriel last year too, though.
If he hops in the portal, there's going to be teams like Auburn and Ole Miss.
Ole Miss will be all over him.
Really happy if they can land Jackson Arnold. I mean, who knows? Even Michigan potentially. If he wanted to go to the Big Ten route. So
let's get to Chester.
I don't know. What's up, Chester?
Hey, 3 things. Number 1, most important, fire Beatembo. Thank you. Number 2, I saw it coming when Sharp went into motion. I was like, oh crap, double pass pick. Yeah. And number 3, I'm proud of the defense for not giving up until the last game of the year.
Hey.
It did look bad in the second half, like they kind of just gave up.
Oh, they gave up, and I don't blame them. They've been out there all year.
Thanks for the 3 points, Chester.
Appreciate it.
All right, y'all have a good one. Gotta go to work.
You too. Hey, Crystal's donated a super. Thanks, Crystal. Yes or no only, please. Do you want Jackson Arnold back next year? Yes.
I think Oklahoma.
Yes or no?
Yes, I think Oklahoma needs to do everything they can to get him back next year.
Jason?
Depends.
Well, that's not an option.
That's what I'm saying. I think it depends, Jerm.
Well, it would depend on me, too, if I knew they were getting a stud coming in. That's idiotic take, Jay. Dumb to not answer the question.
Okay, you know what? I don't care, Jerm.
Answer the question.
I don't care. Let's get to Jackson.
Answer the question.
Jackson, get on the line.
Dave, thanks for the super, Dave.
Thanks, Crystal. Appreciate it. And Dave.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. I think tonight's game is an epitome of what's been the whole entire season for Oklahoma. It sums it up in one game. Oklahoma, what was it? It was tied, I believe, was it 10-10 or 17-17 at one point? In Oklahoma, they give up that kickoff return for a touchdown.
It was 14-10 OU at that point.
Okay, 14-10, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then the wheels just fell off the train. And then also it's just the fact for anyone that's hating on Jackson Arnold is an idiotic moron that does not know football.
I'm not going to turn this into a Jackson Arnold show.
No.
I'm not talking about Jackson. I'm not talking
Jackson
about
Arnold.
Even though your name's Jackson, I'm not talking about you, Jackson. What I'm saying is this. All the stuff about Jackson Arnold, here's the deal.
He deserved a lot of it.
Here, it doesn't matter. He might be gone in 2 days. Okay. Nobody knows what's going to happen for next year. You can't blame this loss on Jackson Arnold. I would agree with that comment. But for everyone that's going to come in here and I'm not talking about you, Jackson. I'm talking about in the chat to say, it's all on Jackson. It's not. They got so many offensive issues. It's unreal. Yeah. Okay. They got to get an offensive mind in there. And then you go with what you have on quarterback. Who's that going to be? I don't know.
Yeah, and then I also think it's crazy to me that whenever Bill Bedenbaugh has one bad offensive line in the last 10 to 15 years, one that's just not very good, everyone's like, fire Bill Bedenbaugh. It's like they just think that Bill Bedenbaugh forgot how to coach offensive line.
Well, it's been horrible this year.
It's been really bad.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. He's at fault for missing on some players, terrible evaluations as transfers. Like that's his fault. But also it comes on to the point that in which Bill Bedenbaugh, he is going to get some grace and he deserves some grace because of everything he's done as offensive line coach at Oklahoma. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're no. I got to say something real quick. Not about this, Jackson. I got to say something about this Arnold stuff. Listen, for everybody that does say that they want Arnold back next year, are y'all saying you want him to be the starter next year? Because here's my deal: at the University of Oklahoma, you're telling me in the portal you can't get anybody.
Hey, Jay, part of it, though, they're not going to pay multiple guys big-time money to go in there.
Who's multiple?
Jackson Arnold and somebody from the portal.
I'm sorry.
In the world of NIL, guys aren't even the money part of it. They're not going to take money just to sit on the bench. It's not going to happen. These guys.
Yeah, we got. And then if OU is to hire Arbuckle as OC in the next days or whatever is to happen, I do not think John Mateer is a better QB than Jackson Arnold.
I don't really.
I'm not even ready to talk about QB. I don't know why we're spending so much time on the QB tonight. It was not the weakness tonight.
No, but I just want to say, do you guys think that Oklahoma, do you guys think that they can get this drastically turned around going into next year? Do you guys?
You can turn it over quickly. You can turn it around quickly.
Can I say that?
Finish what you're going to say. Yeah.
Do you guys have hope OU can drastically turn it around? I think that's a better thing to say.
Do I hope they can?
No. Do you have hope? Do you think they can? Do you believe they will?
Do I think they can, or do I think they will? Do I think they?
What's the question?
Do you think they will?
It depends on the hire, man. I think it depends. By next year, I don't see how this.
We got to.
I don't know how you can say, okay, they're going to be 10-2 unless you tell me who the offensive coordinator is and who their quarterback is. To me, I got to see a lot of things to say that.
I'm with you, Jeff. Appreciate the call.
Thanks, Jackson.
We got several callers on here. Real quick, the Mateer compared to Arnold. Can we even? Why are we even talking about Mateer? Didn't do anything tonight, did he? Let's just forget about it. I don't know who's better, Jay.
I don't
either.
I'm done talking about Jackson Arnold tonight when it wasn't even it's ridiculous.
I agree with Jackson on the part. I don't know about Mateer. I agree with that. I don't know what Mateer is. I don't even care at this point. Let's get an OC and then see what happens. Okay.
Greg Gott's not a realist either. So.
Let's get to Johnson. What's up, Johnson?
Yeah, Texas just stuffed A&M on the 4th and 1.
What's the score?
At 17-7, Texas just stuffed A&M four straight times inside the 2-yard line. So,
what's up, Johnson?
Hey, I'm telling you, it's like last week we take a giant step. This week we take 4 steps back. BV signed off on his game plan this week. This game plan was obviously not the best game plan we could have had. If you go back and look at Alabama ran all over the quarterback run. A&M has success on LSU. It's just bad football. There's no other way to say it. And I know Hunter's going to say I'm crazy, I think, but you got to dial up $44 million and you got to cut the cord tomorrow.
No,
it's time.
I was with you on that. They're not going to. I'm not confident that things are going to change for Oklahoma.
It's time
to nail this OC hire and spend some big time money on the portal and have just about everything go their way in all of it. I mean, right decision after right decision after right decision, I think, for this thing to turn around for Oklahoma in the coming years. I mean, it's going to be tough for them to do.
Nobody talked about the worst part of the whole game tonight, and it's a coaching issue.
The worst part of the whole program
45 seconds left in the half, you're losing. You have 2 timeouts, and you take
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
You don't mind that you have 6 wins, Hunter. What are you playing for?
They knew they couldn't score, Jay.
Well, they thought their 2-minute drill was good against Missouri, and that's why they lost the game.
I don't care.
I mean, at that point in time, if it's kind of a repeat of Missouri where you're trying to stretch things out, stretch plays and all that. Then you fumble and you go into halftime down 2 possessions. I don't mind it. I don't know. Timeout.
This whole thing is a disaster. I mean, how in the world do you have so many injuries on both sides of the ball? I mean, you have injury after injury after injury, and then Eli. I mean, he's a great player, but I'm sorry, if you're 5'9", you're not gonna be successful in the SEC, dude. You're just not. I mean, you could be there. He was in the long touchdown pass right at the end. I mean, he was right there. He's just not big. He's just not big enough.
What changed from last week when you called in right after the game and said, BV, like, they got this, and now this week?
Was at the game.
You want to be positive. Hey, Jared, you don't start with me right now. Don't start.
I'm just curious.
Because I'm telling you right now, you have to call it like it is. I mean, it's like
I do call
thought they were going in the right direction. They had a great game plan, and then this week you go back to the same thing.
Agreed.
And you can't, he can't put a game plan together from week to week to week, and you can't be consistent what's going on inside the program. And it really just comes down to this week at the news conference when he said, you know what, I hired the wrong guy. Well, guess what? You hired the wrong guy, and you hired the wrong guy too, and just cut the cord. I mean, he said it plain and simple, Jerm. He said, I hired the wrong guy. You know what? You hired the wrong guy. Joe C hired the wrong guy. And it's just time to say, nice guy, you're not going to get it done. Go on somewhere else. It's time to cut the cord and go on.
Yeah. Hey, what I think is funny, I think it's funny how there's comments, and the people in the chat are just hilarious when they say, hey, great caller night. But last week when Johnson said what he said, people were not saying that. It's just funny. Only when it fits their narratives do they want to say great caller.
Hey,
I say it's a great call. I appreciate you, Johnson.
Hey, I guarantee you, I'm going to call it like it is. I'm going to be positive when I see good, and when I see terrible, I'm going to call it like it is. Last week we were on cloud 9. This week it goes back and it's the same old garbage that we see week after week after week. And it's like when you throw and the sharp guy. I mean, I knew that was going to happen. He's did the trick play 4 consecutive weeks and didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, last week he dropped a touchdown pass. This week he throws the interception.
Yeah, that was a horrible play call. But
so all these callers, they can rip me all they want to, whatever. I'm going to tell you exactly when I see good things, I'm going to tell you when it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. It just comes down to BV's not the guy.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Johnson. We got several on the line. Thanks. Hey, real quick, guys. Gray God, yeah, you can say you're right more than me. I don't really give a rip about who's right more. I'm sick and tired of you coming at me saying you're right more. I'm not adding up. I'm not going to sit here and multiply and go look after the live show and look on a chart to see how many times I've given you a tally mark, Gray God. I'm just not going to do it, okay? You have at it. Be satisfied.
Hey.
Be satisfied if you're right more than me. Kudos to you. Kudos. I'm on here every single night taking all kinds of stuff, and you can sit there and say, that's fine. Be that way. I don't give a rip. Don't give a rip about it.
Hey, let's get the coconut followed by Bobby. What's up, coconut?
Real quick, before I add coconut, just wanted to drop in here a quote that was tweeted out from the Venables press conference. Was asked about the new offensive coordinator, and he said, quote, in the next few days or so. So there's
has to be.
What's up, coconut?
Hey, fellas. Shame on me for thinking that we could have taken that spark that we got last week and carried it into this game and been competitive. I mean, I thought there was something, but we just came out and looked completely flat. Besides the one strip, fumble, and scoop and score, every other aspect of the game, I was like, yo, we don't want to win this game as bad as LSU. We look smaller at every position than LSU. I completely agree with you, Jay. We're losing the game. We have no right to sit there at the end of the half and let a minute roll off the clock while we're just got our hands in our pockets. You don't have the right to do that while we're sitting there losing a game and we're 6-6 or about to be 6-6. I mean, there's no sense of urgency at all with this team. It's like with the play calling, with the effort that we give, it's completely pathetic. I mean, I should have known better. I'm yelling at my TV all night, but thinking that maybe we had turned a page and found some sort of spark that could have maybe turned things around, at least emotionally, into the off season. But it's like, what are we even doing out there? I expected more from the seniors to give this team a spark, but none of them were out there, playing like they did last week. I mean, we let a guy who practically dislocated his shoulder and spent a whole quarter in the medical tent come out and start dropping bombs on us. And we let a guy return a kickoff 100 yards on us. Like we didn't show up to play. We stayed in Norman. I'm so
that was it.
Greg,
that was it though, because OU just took on a great drive. OU had a great drive to go up 14-10. It was an Arnold scramble. It was the completion. It was a Xavier Robinson touchdown. It's 14-10, and then just like that, that's the game breaker. And they basically just sold after that.
Yeah, and I'm with Mess there. Hire LSU's medical staff. Hey, Greg, one thing you said, though, and for everybody, whoever watched this game tonight, if you're watching any other game, if it was LSU versus put whatever team on it, and you're watching them go into half, taking a knee, everybody in here is laughing, saying that's a joke.
I mean, wasn't, but
what? You got to be kidding me!
At least let us think you're trying.
2 scores. I thought they may throw a pick. Right now, you're 1 score
away
with the ball first.
You're ridiculous.
Don't
Jerem, wake up.
Cool.
Listen, okay, we don't have a downfield threat. That's no question. It was literally an act of Sooner magic that we had that one play to Hester. That thank God it ended up leading to a score. But okay, so we don't have any downfield threat. Get somewhat creative with the run game. I mean, it was basically just a quarterback run or some kind of inside run the whole night. And what happened to Robinson? Was he like injured? Because that dude was sluggish and slow the entire game. I mean, they made us look like a Sunbelt team tonight.
From what Plank was saying on the radio show tonight, he was getting examined most of the second half.
But then where's Javante Barnes, who supposedly was back?
Yeah, Javante, from what Plank was saying as I was driving home listening to it, was that Javante Barnes was like warming up the running backs. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird deal.
What is warming up the running backs? What does that even mean?
No clue.
For you. I think Plank
I, for one, am glad this season's over.
Well, we got one more that you saw on TV. They're projecting us to play either Virginia Tech or West Virginia. I'm honestly surprised it's a Power 5 opponent that they're projecting. I mean, here's to brighter days. I'll leave it at that. Hopefully we can get this higher right and it can turn things around. I'm going to leave my hopes and dreams on that, I guess. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Hopefully some news in the next couple of days. OC. We got who do we have on here? Bobby?
Bobby, what's up, Bobby?
Hey guys, can you hear me pretty good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good deal. Listen, we were just overmatched at the lines of scrimmage on both sides, and we just got old-fashionedly beat tonight. There's no, I mean, I don't even if we come up with a better game plan, I still think we're going to get beat tonight. We were away and not at home tonight, and that made a big difference too. And if you look at the overall, for all the bad coaching and everything, we're 6-6 and going to a bowl game, and I'll take that compared to where I thought we were going to be at the beginning of the year, being 4 and whatever. We did come out 6-6, and I'm happy to go to a bowl game. And I think next year is going to be a little bit. I think we just have to look at the positive on it. We can't look at all the negative on it.
Yeah, but Bobby, I have to disagree on the ball. I'm kind of not even looking forward to a bowl game, to be honest with you. I may be on the small side of that. I just think they had so much momentum after Bama and in this performance. And I know they're going to go to a bowl game. They're going to play it. But, gosh, it's just – I'm not very excited about it, guys. I think
who's saying this is the new standard, though?
Nobody.
This is just I think this is just a little glitch. This is our first year in the SEC, and we took a big step. I mean, we're undersized. And I think in about 3 years, I think the recruiting, I think we'll get bigger and better. I mean, we're gonna. I mean, we're going to be. Even with our name, we're going to get a lot of better players. And I just think this is a glitch. And this is probably. I think Texas. The reason why they're doing so good, I think they were better. I think their offensive line. They started that about a couple of years ago, getting all the big players, and spending the money too on the offensive line.
Yeah, it's
we're
going
gonna have to start forking out the money.
This offseason is going to tell a lot, Bobby.
Yeah. But you know what?
Bobby.
If we win, we're 7-6, and that stops us from a losing record anyway. So
yeah.
Hey, appreciate it, Bobby.
All right,
Hey,
guys.
I know we got Chris on the phone. Well, big shout out here. I want to maybe take a break here to before we let Chris on. Check out the fan stop at thefanstop.com. Unique. We're at family's house right now, Jay. We're opening Christmas gifts. What better gift than the Shirt of the Month Club? Seriously, one that you get a new gift each and every month. You guys check out the fan stop at thefanstop.com. You're disappointed tonight as Sooner fans, but you won't be disappointed when you get that stuff in the mail. It's really, really great product. We got Chris Rhodes on the line.
We got Chris followed by the fan stop, then Zach, and then Mr. Dealagaff. So let's get through these. Let's go, Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing all right. You?
Oh, I could be better, I guess, but I'm doing all right. I'd like to talk about Jackson Arnold for just a minute. We want a new OC. We want the right guy for the OC, correct? We all agree with that.
Yeah.
And, do you take a chance with Jackson Arnold next year? And I feel like he can make the throws that are necessary. He can't throw the fade pattern in the corner of the end. He can't do any of that stuff right now. So do you take a chance? Nobody made him fumble the ball on the field.
No, he had bad turnovers all year.
Huh?
He had bad turnovers all year, but I don't know who they're bringing in. That's the question mark.
Right. But do you take a chance with him like if you would take a chance with Joe John Finley to be the offensive coordinator next year? Do you keep the same quarterback? I mean,
no, you have to get a transfer portal quarterback, period. You have to.
I agree.
You have
I'm going to go back to Barry Switzer days, okay, for just a minute. When Troy Aikman came to Oklahoma, Barry Switzer did Troy Aikman a favor and said, "You're not the guy here." Now, look what he ended up being in his career. But he didn't fit Oklahoma. So it could be the fact that he just don't fit us. We need to get somebody that can – go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I agree, Chris. That's why I think it depends on who you hire as the OC and who they bring in. I think the OC is probably going to bring in a portal guy. And I think that's why the OC has to be done tomorrow or whatever. And then they need to go in the portal and pay big money and go get somebody. Jackson Arnold, I'm pretty confident Jackson Arnold is not going to be wearing Sooner gear next year. That's
I don't think
call it a hunch. Call it a.
I think he might be, Jay. I think he's.
I disagree, Jeremy. This was supposed to be he came in this year, and I think he just kind of was like,
I don't even know why we're talking about it.
It was all handled bad. The whole thing was handled bad all year with him, Jerm.
Okay. Let me ask you this too: is the standard of quarterback that we're used to having is not what he is? He's not that guy. I don't think so.
Well, he's not as a freshman for sure. No. And I think he's probably ruined at OU. I think he needs to go somewhere else probably to see. I don't think he's going to do it at OU. I just don't.
No, yeah, I don't think so either. That's just my point, guys. That's my opinion. But I wanted to share that with everybody. That's just how I feel.
Appreciate it, Chris.
He's had a problem fumbling the ball. He can't read the defense, and he's just not seemed like he's had any growth this year. And listen, guys, he's played football all his life. He knows not to fumble the ball. He knows not to throw interceptions. He already should know this when he gets there.
Well, everyone knows it. Doesn't mean they don't do it. Look at Jalen Milroe. He had 3 turnovers again today. People turn the ball over.
I'll say this, though. I'll say this about Jackson Arnold, and thanks for the call, Chris. Appreciate that call. What I'll say is this. People can bash Jackson, and I've done it too, but you also got to realize Jeff Lebby, Seth Luttrell, Joe John Finley, and within a year he's had 3 coordinators. I don't think that helps anybody out. That's why I think he's probably like, I'm done. I'm going to go somewhere else.
I think you're potentially right on that, Jay. I mean, the position he was in this year with just that whole debacle of the first 8 weeks. And Sooner WX. I don't know if Oklahoma can get a better quarterback than Jackson Arnold out of the portal. That's why I think they should try to do everything they can to keep him.
That's a dumb comment, Hunter. Hunter, you can't say that. You don't even know who's in the portal.
Okay, but
wait. Hunter, did you think Will Howard was going to transfer last year?
No, and I don't think Will Howard's any good, Jay. So,
but I'm saying, did you think Cam Moore? I mean, there's guys out there that you don't think are.
I understand that, Jay. But right now, the names that people are throwing around out there,
I agree with you there.
They're necessarily better
It's
than
gonna
Jackson Arnold.
Jack,
They could
but
give Jackson Arnold a offensive coordinator and a quarterback coach that's above average. They don't even have to be great. They just have to be above average. That could actually help develop them and give them an O-line that could give him some time in the pocket. I think, and maybe a few of his receivers back. Yeah, I think that might lead to him playing pretty well. I don't know. That's
there's just so much. There's just so much out there that we don't know. Hey,
let's get the fan stop.
Wait.
That fan stop?
Okay.
Guys, how you doing tonight?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good. Thanks. Just want to say thank you for this season. Appreciate everything you did for us here at the Fan Stop. And being a Sooner fan, tough season, but as Sooner fans, it's hard to keep in perspective this season with the injuries as far as the receivers, the offensive line. Probably most of the offensive line wasn't scheduled to play for another 2 years. Not making excuses, but perspective is the best way to look at it and realize that, even Venable said he made the wrong hire at the coordinator position. So, but I think it proves tonight and in football anymore. And last week against Alabama, it was the perfect scenario laid out. The offensive work, the defensive work, but you still got to be able to move the ball and be explosive on offense. You just can't run a controlled running offense and win in college football today. You've got to be able to do a little bit of both. You've got to be explosive. You got to be able to run the ball. And, a lot of everything that everybody's talking about all depends on who the coordinator is going to be. Maybe the new coordinator, Jackson Arnold, fixed their scheme. Maybe he doesn't. I think it all is to be determined in a big offseason for Brent Venables for sure.
Well, I think if Arnold's leaving, it's probably going to be announced within the next 2 days.
Oh, I agree. If Arnold leaves, it's going to be announced as soon as the portal opens. And he's not going to wait to see if someone's going to come here.
The portal opens.
The portal doesn't open on the 9th.
Right. That's when it'll be announced.
But I think a lot of guys that know they're leaving go ahead and announce it.
There's guys like you're seeing at Oklahoma State already have announced they're going to enter the portal. So it can't happen. I don't know.
Hey, appreciate it, Kevin.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Fanstop. And Fanstop talked about perspective. I got to go back to Lane's comment. Had chemo today. Prayers out to Lane, honestly. Prayers to you. I know that can't be easy fighting that. Keep fighting. We'll lift you in our prayers, Lane. And all this other stuff. Thanks. Football is perspective. But Jay, real quick, Stillerman said the guys aren't into it. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, and
who are you talking about, Stillerman?
He might be talking about the chat. If he's talking about me, I haven't been on here in a week. I'm excited to be on here. I've been gone, so I'm excited. So I don't know. We got Zach and then Dilligaf. So let's get to Zach. What's up, Zach?
Yeah, man. I don't know how y'all can know if Jackson Arnold is the guy or not. I mean,
it's hard to know. I don't think anybody knows if he's the guy. And
it's the thing. People can they will. OU fans. I mean, I can see why he would want to leave. I mean, you don't give a guy a single chance with a good play coordinator. I mean, you can't develop as a quarterback. You can't throw with all 5 of your wide receivers out. You can't throw any. And he did what he could tonight. And I think we just got to give him another chance. I think he might leave, but I don't see how you can judge him so fast. And I just don't really understand people's point.
Zach, here's the thing. I think it's a weird thing with Arnold. I do. I think you can say in one breath, you can say he hasn't really, and thanks for the call, Zach. He hasn't really been able to see how good he is because he hasn't had a great OC. Yes, you could say that. You can also say he's turned the ball over a ton. Okay. I don't care who the OC is. You can't turn the ball over that much. So I can see where people say the both. And I agree with what Bobby said earlier. It's only fair to him if he wants to leave and go somewhere else.
Listen.
He's kind of been given a bad thing too this year with what he's gone through with the O-line, everything. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we'll see how it plays out.
I'm getting ready to go take care of a family thing here. But listen, I got to say something real quick. Jackson Arnold has been abysmal in games this year. Atrocious. Jackson Arnold also came back when he didn't have to. And honestly, I thought led pretty well.
Agree with that.
The last 2 games, I thought played pretty good. So,
and he's not the problem.
Whatever he chooses to do, okay, whatever he chooses to do today. The offseason, there's got to be some major things happen for this team. I want to say, Jay, great to have you back. It's great to be back on this after 2 nights off. I love the Sooner Surge and the viewers who are on here every single night. I love it, okay? I'll take getting ripped. Keep ripping me. It's why I come on here partly. I love it. Bring it. I'm not scared of you. You can call at me, come at me all the time. I do know what I'm talking about on a lot of things, okay? So before you say I don't know what I'm talking about, maybe you should take a step back because I do. And I'll catch y'all in a little bit.
Yeah, Matt's saying people seeking my advice in football. I don't think people are seeking my advice. It's not very good advice, Matt, but I did quit football. You're right. It was 6th grade, though, I believe, not 5th grade. But let's get to Mr. Dilligaff. What's up, Mr. Dilligaff?
Boys, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
I think we've been just, with when we had Lincoln, we had somebody that would develop quarterbacks. And right now, we just don't have that. The other thing is like the previous caller was saying, I mean, it's hard to have, whether it's Hawkins or JA, it doesn't matter what quarterback, when you lose all those guys and your offensive line is being shuffled and there's just no consistency whatsoever. Next year is another thing, whether Jackson stays or not. I mean, I would like to see him because everybody likes a comeback story. Everybody loves that. He could have just quit on the team and said, screw it, I don't want to come back in. I'm leaving. Let Michael Hawkins do it. And then who knows, we may have gotten Michael Hawkins injured with what we've got.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is everyone wants to say fire BV. No one's going to fire BV. There's too much money. Not to mention, who is there that we can go out and get?
That's probably the main thing is who do you go get? And I mean, what? $44 million could go a long way in hiring an OC and going to get players too. They're going to have to fork out to get rid of BV. Doesn't matter. BV's not going anywhere. No, he's not going anywhere.
It's separate money, but yes, he's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the chat, who else? Who is there that we could go get? I mean, honestly, outside of maybe some announcements of other people being fired, but if we go and get an offensive guy, then now we have to go back to possibly not having a defense again and dealing with the fact that we're going to be winning games 55-44. We've lived in the realm for the last 10 years where we've had phenomenal offenses and our defenses just were hanging on by a thread. Now we get into a top 20 defense and our offense is just not there quite yet. And we all know that it was, the OCs, there's stories behind everything, how Luttrell was actually making all of the calls when it came to the personnel and not letting the coaches actually decide who goes in as receiver, running back, whatever. But I mean, some of the stuff even tonight in the last couple of nights with JJF is just absolutely absurd. I mean, what were they thinking with Sharp and a double pass? I get it. He was a quarterback. And if he's a quarterback, what in the world was he thinking? Throw the daggum thing out of bounds if it's not there.
Take the sack. Do something. That was unbelievable.
I don't get it. Their philosophy behind trick plays are, let's get it to Bauer Sharp, have him involved in it some way.
I was thinking about is this was last week. If we're going to do these double passes, how about we put in a package with Hawkins and Arnold in it at the same time and run a screen pass like a bubble screen to a receiver, but instead it's Michael Hawkins throwing the dadgum ball, somebody that is in that position as of right now, not a converted tight end.
Well, the reason that doesn't happen, Dilligaff, is you got to be a very creative mind to do that. And I don't think Joe John Finley, He's never called plays. He's not an OC. I just think he's going to have to learn to be an OC. He can't. The University of Oklahoma, the first time you call him plays, that's a problem. I mean, OU's way better than that, in my opinion. But, hey, good stuff, Dilla. Appreciate the call. Appreciate it, man. Hey, one thing I will say he brought up and kind of brought it up, but and then we'll get to Greg, but I don't know if there's a whole lot of people, and maybe there is, but Michigan beat Ohio State today 13-10, and people are praising Michigan. Their offense looked atrocious. They won the game, though. I mean, it's about winning games. That's what it comes down to. And look what Michigan did after the first of the year. Everyone kind of said Moore's probably not the guy. They're done. They flip Bryce Underwood. They go beat Ohio State. Now all of a sudden, so it can change. That's the thing with the portal and stuff.
Yeah,
it can, but will it? That's the question. Let's get to Greg real quick. What's up, Greg?
Hey, Hunter. Hey, Jason. Sorry to hog. Thanks for taking my call again. Back to that trick play. Two things I have on that. One, any trick play that calls for the O-line to lay down on the ground in the prone position while things are going on around them is not the right play. Like, I don't know what the concept on that was, but when you have the offensive line lay down on the ground, stomach to the dirt, it's not the right play. And okay, Bauer Sharp, he isn't a quarterback. Okay, he makes a bad pass there. Who was he even trying to throw to? There was not a Sooner receiver within 30 yards.
I think it was Zion Reagan's in triple coverage there. A 5'8", 5'9" at best wide receiver with three guys all over him.
Yeah, I didn't catch the whole lineman laying on the ground thing as it went live, but when they kind of ran the tape back and our guys, I'm still, that was like 2 hours ago. I'm still dumbfounded that we did that. And man, I'm just disappointed that this was the performance we put out in the last game of the season. I mean, it was going to be a lot for us to win this game, but the fact that we came out so flat and so unprepared, I'm still shocked at that.
Yeah, it was bad.
And this
bad
was just like the Texas game last year. So we beat Texas, in stunning fashion. Come from behind win, last second there. We look great. We're riding this high of a tidal wave. And then we come out and lose on the road to Kansas. And this feels eerily similar to that. In a sense.
I would agree with that.
BB's got to be better at game prep and keeping the team consistent. That is absolutely one thing he's failed on. Hopefully he can be better next season.
Agree.
That's all I got. Yep.
Thanks, bud. Have a good night. Hey, we got Germ back on there if you want to add him. And then here's what I'll say. We are taking 2 more callers. So phone lines are closed. The last 2 callers will be Iowa Sooner, followed by Gabriel Bailey. Those will be the last 2 callers, because then after that, I got to say a few things. So I got some things to say. So let's get to Iowa Sooner. What's up, Iowa Sooner?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. But by the way, Abe's comment's dead on. I love that comment, Abe. What's up, Iowa? We can hear you.
Hey, man, this has been great. I've been watching you guys every night for a year. I appreciate it. I love what you're doing here. It's kind of tough sitting up here to the north, way away from you guys, and being in my own little world as a Sooner fan, but I appreciate it. You make the days go by really great. Hey, tonight was predictable. I mean, we had our big win last week. You knew it was going to be a letdown. It was always going to be a tough game tonight at LSU. Let's be honest. So, I'm just more looking forward, to the bowl season. We got 6 wins. We're going into the bowl season. We're going to have a good recruiting class. We're going to hit the portal hard. We're going to find an OC here in the next day or two. And I think this thing is heading in the right direction. I mean, was it the season we wanted? No, not even close to that. But, we got to be positive and look forward to what's ahead. So I say flush this one down tonight. Pretty predictable. I mean, how many teams go into Death Valley and win? Not many. So,
hey,
let's just keep this thing going. Hopefully we get the right hire and we get this thing turned around. Here's the thing I would say, though. Being up here in Iowa, we got Kirk Ferentz at Iowa. and he's been here about 20 years, and we're guaranteed about 8 wins a year. My thing that concerns me, though, is I don't want Oklahoma to become like an Iowa Hawkeye team where 8-4 is good enough. Because we know up here, Iowa Hawkeyes are never winning a national title, but they're content with 8-4. And I don't want that to be Oklahoma. We've been 24 years since a national title, and we have to have higher standards, and we got to keep pushing on. But if Venables goes 8-4 for the next couple years, we may be content with that and say, hey, he's a nice guy. Let's take 8-4 and let's do that for the next 20 years. And I don't want that to happen. So we got to keep the pressure on, and we got to keep pushing with high standards, and hopefully we can get that national title in the next few years.
Hey, great call, Iowa. Appreciate it. I mean, that's you're perfect by saying that. I think you're right. Nobody wants to be that 8-4 Iowa. Nobody. But I think it has to change next year. I think you have a couple of years like this. I think you're
got to change next week.
It's got to change, and they got to spend money. And I think what Abe said is legit. Maybe they realize they got to spend a lot more money in the portal. They got to go get guys, and we'll see. Recruiting portal.
Interesting post-game comment by BV. I don't know if you guys caught it.
Thanks for the call, Iowa. Appreciate you calling in, buddy, and for being such a supporter.
I appreciate you guys. You're the best. You get me through this thing every night. It's been a long season. You two twins, you guys are awesome. I hope your dad's doing better. And Hunter, you're awesome. Keep it up, man.
Thanks,
you got a bright future. See you guys.
Appreciate it. Jay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hey, I want to get to the last caller of the night because you got some stuff you want to say about the press conference. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the last caller, and that's going to be Gabriel. What's up, Gabriel? Last caller of the night. What's up, Gabriel?
Hey, this is actually True Sooner. I don't know why it's got my first and last name that way, but y'all can hear me, right? Pretty clear?
What's up, True? What's on your mind tonight?
So, watching the game, LSU, I'm not making excuses. I'm not going to make any excuses for this Oklahoma team. They could have played harder. They could have played smarter. They could have played better. But it's hard to beat LSU. But at night, they just Alabama focuses on LSU, and that's why they spend a lot of time throughout the whole year. It's a measuring stick game. Oklahoma has learned what they needed to learn this year about what's going to take an SEC. There can't be any more games like this for Venables. This is a mulligan year, okay? Don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that because I'm one of the guys that want to yank quickly and get up and get people out of there. But I gotta understand we are limited. Injuries, making bad decisions in the portal, making bad decisions with high school recruits that you think that are players and they weren't. And Beaton both got to start hitting more than missing. He can't have another year like this on the offensive line. I'm looking at other programs again. Like I said, I just compare Oklahoma with Michigan, brothers. I'm sorry, but I look at Sharon Moore, and they're like, well, he's never been a head coach. He's been to Michigan for 4 or 5 years. He's the one that got that culture. Yes, it had something to do with Harbaugh being there and all that. And I don't want to spin around talking about Michigan, but in my comparison to things, Sharon and them, they had a culture, and he just added to it. He said, "We're going to be physical. We're not going to be soft. We're going to play our game. We're going to make other teams play our game. We're not going to get into this up and down the field. You think we are, and if you think we are, it's going to be in ways that you might regret. Like when Michigan went to Ohio State a couple years ago and ran up and down the field with big time runs to really blow the game open. Nobody expected that. They thought, well, maybe they'll throw the ball and take chances and have to make plays that way. No, Michigan just said, you know what? We're going to be who we are. We're going to knock you off the ball, whether we're at home or on the road. We're going to be who we are. We're going to knock you off the ball. We're going to create big plays one way or another.
Well, they're
Oklahoma's
gonna
got. They have to find an identity. They
okay.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Starts with an OC.
Listen,
Gotta get an
true
OC.
Sooner. True
It's not
Sooner.
it's not just an OC, brother. You got to have the right kind of OC. I hear this guy
I agree.
about Washington State, and brother, if you're not able to run the ball in the SEC, you have to have a consistent running.
I agree
That's
with you.
your identity. It can't be, well, if they stop this. No, there's no if they stop this. You got to be able to run the ball. The reason why the guy struggled with the Alabama quarterback. Alabama quarterback is a hell of an athlete. I like some of the things Arnold does, but he's nowhere near the athlete as the other guy. And also, he didn't. The other guy did. You can't turn the ball over, and Alabama turned the ball over. So he made Venable's defense look easy because they played right into Venable's hands. Anytime Venables went up against the quarterback, anytime Venables went against a quarterback that can run and throw with consistency, we're in trouble. And I'm not talking about a quarterback who runs.
Here's the deal. It doesn't matter about last week and why the defense looked better. The defense looked great last week. The one thing I'll agree with you is he got a mulligan this year because he still got a job. So obviously they treat it like a mulligan. True Sooner, thanks for the call.
True Sooner, Gabriel, whichever.
They definitely have to turn it around. There's no question about it. And it starts now. BB said something interesting in the presser. They asked him about portal if there's going to be any surprises. He said, yes, there'll be some surprises. We're ready for it. I thought that was interesting. I mean,
Jeremy,
hey,
it's college football.
I agree. But wait, the people who are saying that BV forced Dylan Gabriel out is ridiculous. I'm done with that kind of stuff.
Hey, I got to say something.
It's asinine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Real quick, the last thing I'm going to say is Matt Lemieux said he's going to go to a different podcast because this one's got too many. Hey, listen, Matt, go to another one then. We are here to take comments and calls from all kinds of fans, okay? Not just certain kinds. That's all I'm going to say. What's up?
Hey, and I got to say something tonight. This is off topic a little bit. But Ohio State, North Carolina, fighting after a game because you lost and somebody's trying to plant a flag in the middle of your field. Grow up.
And then the coaches defended it.
No, listen, beat them. Ryan Day, beat them. North Carolina, Mac Brown, beat him. If you don't want someone to plant a flag at the 50-yard line, go beat their butt. I'm tired of it. They go into a fist fight after a game because they can't beat him. Beat him. Shut them up by beating them. It's ridiculous. Fighting after the game is ridiculous. It's dumb.
The Ohio State one was on a whole nother level. I mean, you have police pepper spraying players from both teams.
Unbelievable.
It's just ridiculous. And then Ryan Day to sit up there and kind of defend it like.
Oh, not kind of. He did.
He watched it happen right in front of his eyes.
Watching it happen, watching Jack Sawyer.
Sharon Moore's pulling guys off, and he's over there standing just watching.
Yeah,
he's ridiculous, guys. I'm sorry. Is Ohio State going to make the playoff?
Yeah, they are, but I don't know.
They are.
When you lose
that game meant nothing, Jay.
3 years in a row. I mean, you can't do that. You can't.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Listen, big kudos to everyone who donated tonight to our channel. It's great to be back. Hunter and Jay, it's great to be back with you guys.
Good to be back, man.
Hey, tomorrow night, I'm sure we're going to have some videos dropping tomorrow. You got the OC hire that's going to be coming soon. You got a lot, really. Chief says, and thanks to the Super Chief, only thing good about the season, I got some therapy for listening to the Surge. Massive change. NIL need to be competitive in 2025. Sucks to see Texas be what we should be. Yeah, and they're going to have a shot at a natty, but it's going to be interesting as the next 2 days unfold. I think a lot of changes in Norman. I think a lot of changes, and I'll be here for it.
A lot of changes are going to happen. Daniel, I saw your comment on a video the other day. I did not portal. I'm still with Sooner Surge. Fact of the matter is nobody offered me as much as I thought they would. I thought some of the other podcasts might come after me. Nobody did. I put my name in the portal, but I came back to Sooner Surge. Happy with it. Happy with my decision. Bishop says, will you guys be on every day still? Yes. This podcast is not just when the Sooners play football. We go live every day, except I will say this up front, probably not Christmas Eve, probably not Christmas night. I mean, those are for family. Family comes first, but every other night we will be on here. So I hope you guys tune in with us every night at 9:30. This is the place to be. Appreciate the Fanstop. Check them out. www.thefanstop.com. Use code Surge. You get 10% off your first 3 months. The Razorback Surge did not want me, Greg, actually. By the way, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. How about Sam Pittman coaching the game from the press box?
That is.
Wow.
I don't even know.
We got a whole lot of stuff. Hey, tomorrow night, you don't want to miss it because it'll be a lot of Sooner talk, as it always is. But there's a lot of talk nationally going on with the playoff. It's going to be a fun night tomorrow night. Join us there tomorrow at 9:30. Appreciate everybody being on here. The season, other than the bowl game, is officially over. So we look forward to see what comes in over the next 2 days.
8 days, and you find out what bowl game Oklahoma will be playing.
I could care less, to be honest with you.
I mean, I care. I mean, I would hope it's one in Texas. Maybe get to go to that, but yeah, I mean, it'll be an opportunity for the young guys and maybe a couple of those seniors to get one more game in a Sooner uniform. But other than that, who knows? Who knows who will be calling the plays on the offensive side of the ball in that game? I mean, the new OC won't be the interim OC. I would imagine possibly not calling the plays when if they expect to go in another direction. So gonna be.
And, hey, Hunter, I know before today started, I said, and the people in the Discord, I said Ohio State, Notre Dame. That's my final game. Well, I can't pick Ohio State anymore. I just can't. But Texas, Notre Dame, guys, might want to watch out. It could be Texas, Notre Dame. Notre Dame looks good to me. What?
As a national championship?
Do you not think Notre Dame looks good?
I mean, they look
Would
good.
that be the worst national championship for Sooner fans? Texas and Notre Dame?
It was USC. I still think that, I mean,
Oregon.
If Texas wins the SEC, they're going to be on the opposite side of the bracket as Oregon. I'm going Oregon, Texas at this point in time.
And that's what Gray God's got. I just don't see Oregon. Oregon's going to lose if they get
Oregon's
defeated.
the only undefeated team in the country right now.
They're not running the table, though. They're not. So they better lose before the playoff.
But you're saying they should lose and then play a home game.
I'm not saying they should. I just don't think they're going to run the table. I think this is going to be a
That's the only option unless they're not winning in the playoffs.
I just think what I'm saying here is I think a lot of people bash Notre Dame for that Northern Illinois loss. Yeah. Notre Dame's, I mean, the way they run the ball, Riley Leonard's decent.
Price impressed me today. It's also a Lincoln Riley defense. I don't know how much you can take with that. I think you need to take it with a grain of salt. But
you know what Notre Dame has, Hunter? You know what Notre Dame has?
They can run the football, and they have a great defense.
Their defensive backs.
Yeah. Marcus Freeman, man.
Dude.
Freeman.
Yep. So, hey, be back at it tomorrow night at 9:30. Thanks for all the supers. Appreciate it. And I'm glad to be back. And people probably thought I left and said, oh, Jason's gone. He's back. So I'll be back tomorrow night. Appreciate you guys as always, guys and gals. Have a great night and a great day tomorrow.